All right, so welcome to Ignite and Heal. Are you ready? Today, I am very blessed and honored to speak today. This is a recorded talk. I'm going to be inviting someone very dear to me here. This talk, we're actually recording it December 21st, which is the darkest day of the year and a beautiful winter solstice. So, and it will be given out on December 28th, which is actually my 30th wedding anniversary with my husband and I, which is pretty neat. So this is why I'm recording it. And I would love, today I will be inviting Sabine Ravenschot. So Sabine is here and we're actually able to see each other, which is funny too. And we're very heartily connected. So Sabine is a certified PSYCH-K instructor like myself and a facilitator and an amazing kindred sister, I would say. We are connected and eternally and multi-galactically and in every possible way to be a beautiful support and love for each other as sisters can be, even though we may not be blood sisters in this lifetime. We're still very, very deeply connected and deeply help support each other. So welcome, Sabine. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me, Mary.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Always a little bit excited, but it's like lovely.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And so we're going to be just opening up because we have been so beautifully moved to learn PSYCH-K. That's PSYCH-K, PSYCH-K, PSYCH-K. And then now we were led both and we became instructors together in 2017, which is amazing. And we didn't even know it. We just met each other there, which is beautiful. I know. Yes. Sabine, yeah.
We even shared a room without knowing that we were going to do it. So it was really meant to be that we were coming together also personally, not just for the training, but also to get to know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very beautiful. And it has been, I know, magical and precious ever since. That's for sure. And then I live in America. I live in Michigan near Detroit. And I know, Sabine, you can say where you live. Yeah.
I live in Belgium, in the Flemish part of Belgium. Yeah. Beautiful. So far away. Yeah.
Yes, in Europe, on the other side of the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So, yeah, if we can, Sabine, if you'd love to share a bit about, a little bit about, how you found PSYCH-K, and then maybe, especially in the beginning part, because we definitely want to introduce this for people who will be their first time deciding to come learn PSYCH-K if they choose to come to a 3-day workshop. And we're offering an online one, which we'll be talking about at the end in January, which is exciting. And then there's also in-person ones. So how were you moved to learn this, and how has it been a very effective tool for you and assistance for you for now?
Well, PSYCH-K came across my path through somebody who knew he was already doing some PSYCH-K workshops, and she wanted to ask me if she could practice on me. And in the beginning I was like, okay. I was a little bit in resistance because it was something new, and she didn't explain it so very well about it. So I was always a little bit like, I will see. And then I said, okay, you can do one. And the moment I started to do the balance, that's how we transform subconscious our programs. I could feel the shifts in my body because I am a craniosacral therapist. So I am used to feel a lot in my body. And I could feel the shifts immediately. And it was like, oh my God, this goes so fast. So then I said, okay, you can do it whenever you want. But I didn't want to go to learn it myself yet. But then after a while, I think my spirit said, Sabine, you have to do it. Because then I rolled from first the basic, then I did in that time it was the pro, now it's the master facilitation. Then I went to the advanced, all in 1 year. So I was lucky that it was organized in Belgium, so I could do it. And then I started in January 2015, and in June 2017, I became an instructor. So it was so fast. I wasn't able to put a hand to stop it. And it's like, okay, this is something I need to do. I didn't have anything to say about it. It's so strange. Yeah.
Your spirit completely moved you, huh?
And everything was so easy. And other times it was, every time when I want to do something, it's hard and it's not easy to accomplish in my life. And then it was like a train that passed and I had no stop. It's like, this is so strange. So,
wow. Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating because mine was different, you know, which is so amazing. And I love to have this topic talk about embracing diversity and embracing that we each are going to have our own unique ways of how we expand and rise in our ascension here from 3D to the 5D experience. And this is really what we are all on this planet being called to do. Not all will do it because we get our free will choice. Some will be planted of the seedling for maybe their next experiences here and things. But we, you and I know, especially are here to help the light workers and the star seeds and the ones that volunteered to come to assist during this precious, amazing ascension time. Yes. So I knew none of this before, obviously, before PSYCH-K. I was a nurse working, a birth nurse, loving helping moms have babies. Absolutely loved it. My mom had 12 kids. I'm number 11 out of 12. And my husband too is one of 12. He's 9, number 12. So I absolutely loved helping moms have babies. Absolutely loved it. Loved helping see these new, beautiful, precious beings come into this world. And then my husband got sick with leukemia and he was 45. His dad died at 50 from another cancer or complications of cancer. And so he thought he was going the same way he did. And his oldest sister too, died at that same year. So it woke me up. My husband woke me up because I thought, oh, heck no, you know, just because your family died at a young age doesn't mean you have to too, you know. And so that led me within a year to Bruce Lipton's book was at my work, my desk, right? And I read that. So it was actually Bruce Lipton was the one that nudged me. So I love Bruce. Oh, heck yeah. When I read his book, at the end of his book, he basically said to me, get your ass to a workshop. And I said, okay, I am learning PSYCH-K, whatever the heck PSYCH-K is. I had no idea what it was. I just understood because being a nurse and I, loved science. And at the time I was a very, very strong faith. I was a born again Christian. For me, I loved, Jesus. And but at the time I was really into the religion aspect. I'm no longer there anymore. I'm definitely more just spiritual and love all. And I absolutely love all faiths, including Jesus. So that's where I am now. But anyway, so I went in 2010. So that will be coming on 12 years now in January. To learn the PSYCH-K to help my husband, because I didn't think I needed it. I was in denial. And many of us that like to help a lot of people do that. We put ourselves last. And I definitely did that. And a mother of 4 and, wanted to help my husband get better. And then it took me about 4 years until I actually went to the advanced workshop. So I was a lot slower. I went really slow. I did not like the whole vulnerability thing. I did not like to be, vulnerable with having, a sexual abuse when I was younger and just living in a very fearful mindset growing up during chaotic times of where my life experience, I just was very guarded and I didn't even know I was and under a lot of fear, had no clue I was. I would have never said I was in a lot of fear at all. I just would have said I was tough because my dad was a Marine. So I would just said, I'm tough. And I had 7 brothers. So I'm like, I'm tough. Right. So I go and learn it. And then my husband wants nothing to do with it. Of course, that's how it works. Right. And that was my invitation to go work with myself. And I thought I would do that until I got really good. So when he was ready, then we could rock and roll, which what did happen 3 years later, which was awesome. But for myself, and then I opened up and just totally, what the heck, happened to me. So I had to go slow. I had to really work with a lot of pieces within myself. And then it was, so 4 years after first going to the first PSYCH-K basic workshop and then dropping in. And the only reason I went the higher levels with PSYCH-K is because my sister was going through a terrible divorce. So I was helping her.
Okay.
Because I went to the advanced workshop because at that time, that's when you learn what's called surrogation. So you can work with people at a distance. And so I said, well, heck yeah, I'm going because I'm going to go help my sister because she's going through a really terrible time with a, a very abusive husband and, at least mentally abusive. And then it got a little physical and more the emotional. And I love my youngest sister. So of course I went with her and then it helped me massively. So which I love, even if you're an overgiver and even if you love to help everybody else, you still are going to get, the receiving and the beautifulness when you're ready. So the piece of all this is when you're ready. And I was ready. I didn't even know I was ready, but my spirit was definitely ready. So my spirit was the one nudging me, very quietly, and I had a very strong willpower and a very strong, ego side of me that thought I was in control. And which is kind of funny. So yeah, and then soon went to what's the pro, which became the master, and the health and well-being. And then that was still by the time I went to the health and well-being by the end of 2015-ish, which is funny because that's the time when you first learned it, right? So I had like 5 years of prep work. So you jumped right in, and isn't that funny? We didn't even know each other then, which is like so fascinating. But in 2015, that's when my spirit said to me while I was in the health and well-being, because I do love optimal health and well-being for myself and others. My spirit said to me, okay, it's time for you to become a PSYCH-K instructor, right? Similar like what you got nudged right into. And I was like, but I love helping moms have babies, and my spirit was just so kind with me that, it's okay. And I really understood. Then I received and understood, okay, it's time for me to move on when it's time for me to move on. And I have to let go even things that I love. And so we'll be talking about this. You learn a tool that can help you reprogram your mind so you can do this. So I did. I used the PSYCH-K that I learned, the balance process. And this is what you learn when you go to a workshop. Within a couple minutes, I reprogrammed my mind so that it believed that it's okay to let go of something you love. And so I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome, right? I shifted. Now I understand that I do help people birth their true essence. So I'm still helping people birth, still the midwife philosophy and the mothering, helping people be the mothers of themselves. But the funny thing is come 2016, I'm connecting with myself. And so I'm going to offer with all of you, because we're going to be about ready entering a new year with 2022 coming up.
Yes.
Ask yourself this question. And I asked these 2 questions, and this was from Ducho, which is our director of PSYCH-K, an amazing man that does the same thing we do, right? That he asked this question of us, so what did this year provide for you? And so even talking this year for us, for me, it was back in 2015. For people here, 2021, what did it most, so you can reflect, how did this year go for you? What is, the good thing we asked with PSYCH-K is what things didn't you like? What didn't work so well? Because that's what you get to change, which is beautiful. And to put in what you do want. How do you want it to be from this moment forward? And the biggest question I love that he asked, and he asked me, and then I asked for myself, was, what's most important for me to believe about myself right now as I enter into my new year? Okay, what's the most important for this year? Because this year's here for a reason. What would be helpful if I could believe it at the subconscious level of the mind that could help me have my best life and be in the best, most important way, right? And what dropped in for me to believe, because I close my eyes and I step into my heart center, my sacred space. And I have learned, because with PSYCH-K, I have learned to quiet my mind, and I have learned to be able to access the 0-point frequency quite quickly. And that's the oneness with divinity, one with my divine source. It's precious.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. So when we can do this, we have this capability. It just was turned off. So you learn how to turn it on with PSYCH-K. Nice.
Yes.
I dropped in there, and in my wholeness, my oneness within me, I asked, so what's most important for me to believe? And what came in was, to be still in love is what dropped in. And I'm like, wow, for me to be still in love. I'm like, wow, okay. It's important for me to be still in love, because at that time I didn't drop into 0-point frequency. I had no way of getting there. I was too chaotic. I was still too fighter, and I was still ready to run. And I had a lot of fight flight responses within me, still within my system of fear, and had no idea. It was just the mechanisms I was running at my subconscious level. So that was the turning point for me to reprogram within my mind, so that I am able to access that 0 point frequency. It didn't tell me that at the time, but now I know that's what it did.
Yeah.
And the oneness frequency, yeah, there's lots of names for it. I call it the 0 point frequency, the oneness with divinity, things like that. Christ consciousness access within us. And then once I balanced for that, it's like the whole year opened up, and then my spirit just told me to be in love, just to be still and be in love. I'm like, what? I'm a doer. I love to do things. I love to go. What? I love excitement and adventure and challenge and even crazy things. And I can just get into the horrible stuff and help that be better. Like I was just, and I'm meant to be still in love. It was funny. So yeah.
You can say.
As I say, so I with the PSYCH-K, we always ask at the end of when we make the changes, when we reprogram our mind, is how can you put this into practice? How can you take a simple action step? How can you become this? How can you live in this new way? It's important that we actually embody it. We are completely living it. That's what, once you change a program, then go live it. We're physical beings here. So I would sit by my dining room table. We have a big window there, and with this beautiful greenery outside with a beautiful view. And I would just sit there and just be still. I was like, wow, this is amazing, right? In my times that I just opened up. Yeah. And it was huge. So people will call meditation. I would call it more of a connection. You can call it meditation. Yeah. I call it a connection. I connect with my divinity, and I'm just in my beingness. And then the gift was it started opening up access ways for me of information, and raising with the psychic balances that I would do within myself, raise my frequency to have access to that information. So that's what we're offering.
For me, it's the opposite, because I'm so sensitive that I feel so much. And I lost myself completely. I didn't know who I was anymore. So I was living all the things that I had from all of my surroundings. So everything, I thought it was mine. So with the psyche balances also, I could transform all these emotions that I felt one by one. So to get back in who I am, my stillness. But it was also from the mind, but more from everything I felt. And I thought it was me, but it wasn't me. So now it's really the difference to go into my divinity, into my stillness, into my 0 point. It's really to undo me from everything what I'm feeling. Wow. To be neutral. And that's my path. That's why I went so fast, because the overload of information that I got from wherever I was so much that I wasn't able to process it anymore. So I was really lost. That's why I went so fast, probably. Yes. To relieve myself, to be more and more in freedom, more and more in my power again, from who I am, taking my own space, taking my place, show me who I am. So it was to become an instructor. It was really, I went into very, very deep transformation to be able to stand and to speak in front of people who doesn't know me, from a very scared person who didn't know who she was until this. It was on a short time, but it was. So I had a lot of time to practice and a lot of, so it was completely different experiences you had, No, it's the same experience, but it's from another point of view. Yes. We all go to our divinity and our true self. We all go back. That's the meaning. That's why we have the lockdowns. That's why we have this, whatever is going on in the world. Yes. It has a purpose, and you can take it or you can leave it. It's our choice. And I choose to take it with my 2 hands from yes.
Yes, you're so right. Yeah, we get our free will choice, and you're right. And the line has been drawn. The line has been drawn, especially today. December 21st that this recording is happening before it gets launched on the 28th. So hopefully you made a good choice. That's what we said. Please let yourself make a new choice. And you also can make a choice at any new moment, because really there is no time. We create the time here on earth. Absolutely. So at any moment, step in, and then you'll be amazed what you can, even if someone is a latecomer and then hears this and then says, what, but did I miss the train? Did I miss the boat? At any moment, then you make it your time. Okay.
Yes.
It's just we're receiving a lot of energy. So the energies are here, and the gift is they're here. They're not going away. They're here.
No. And you will step in on your own time. Every time your divine timing is the perfect time for you. You cannot go faster or you cannot go slower.
Right.
That is not happening. It's always the right time for you. Absolutely.
And speaking of that, so like how you went so fast with you get the message about learning PSYCH-K, and then you learned it, and you transformed so fast, then you became an instructor. Now you're teaching it and then helping others transform so fast. So when my system said, be still in love, that whole year, my system said, just basically do nothing, just be. And I'm like, okay, you told me to go be an instructor. Now you're telling me to just be. What the heck, right? What the heck? Yeah. From a human point of view, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because the masculine side within me got developed very well, right? To go do and do. And like you said, and I turned off my feminine side. I turned off my feelings. I didn't feel. No, heck no. I learned denial, and I learned how to guard my heart. And I did not feel very, very much, like I do now. I would feel the high joys of stuff, but I knocked off even sadness, a lot of that stuff. I learned how to become numb to it. Because I dealt with a lot of inner city stuff and a lot of hardships with my work. So I learned how to do that too. But yeah, so in that year, so for people, if they're meant to learn stuff, but then, or maybe whatever you're going through, you think, oh my gosh, I'm going, then all of a sudden I'm being stalled. There's a reason why you're being stalled right now, or reason why there's lockdowns. There's reason why there's things to go within, the answers to go within. And like you said, perfect. It's all in your divine timing perfection.
Yes.
And if it may in our human mind think, oh no, this is going too slow. No, it's exactly what we need to do. And it was that year that my dad died. He died at the end of that year, more of October time. And so I was meant to fly down to Florida, help my mom and dad, help my dad with his transition, and to be with my family and to be with me. I had to hone in all my craziness, right? Of my going and doing and that into my stillness and my beingness, right? As soon as my dad died, I felt like a racehorse with the gates being closed that opened up. I'm like, okay. And it was time to be an instructor, because that was at the end of 2016. And then whoop, submitted everything, did everything. And then 2017, whammo, we became instructors. I know. And so now I'm learning, right? I love my feminine side of me. It's actually more of who I am than my masculine. And the gift is to learn them to become in partnership. So I'm definitely way more feminine. And then I allow my masculine to step up when it needs to. Absolutely. I'm very strong in that, which I'm grateful for, because we need both.
Yes, absolutely. We need
definitely in these times. So I'd love to bring that off. So that's my story. And then, I let go of the nursing job, and, my husband had to be a little comfortable with that, because he liked the security, thought that little income was important. I said, no, I'm on God's right payroll now. And that also, oh, heck yeah. We're on Divine's payroll. And then whatever I do to share the gifts that are coming through me, it will come back in an abundance of a beautifulness, so that we can continue the cycle, which is the other things we help with PSYCH-K, to help with that scarcity conditioned beliefs that we get, and that there isn't enough, or that we have to depend on others or the government or people or employees, employers, everyone outside of us. How about, would you like to change that? And this is what we offer with PSYCH-K. And that's what I did for myself. And I know you did for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, even things that came from my ancestors, I transformed that too, because we have so much things from our ancestors, even past lives, if you want to believe in it or not, doesn't matter. Just all these things, it's all our cell memory, and the cell memory, we can transform it. And the more cell memory we transform, the freer we are, because what's happening in the world is that's humanity is creating this. Nobody
Yes.
else. We are just recreating the history of it. Here in Europe, we have the world wars, and you had it too, but here we have it on the in the grid, in
the soil, in the ground. Yes.
So everybody who is walking here, they can feel these energies, and a lot of things are already transformed, but it's still there. And so we are recreating actually the same, how do I can say it? I lost my words. The same topics, it's only in a different story.
Yes.
But we have the same. The intentions are the same. It's suppression. It is, yeah, it's a kind of war we are in here too, but we don't have guns, but it is in humanity. They are creating the war again. Now they are creating a gap between vaccinated or not vaccinated. In history time, you go with the Jewish people and the not Jewish people. It was the same gap. It's only in a different story. So we are recreating it, and it's time to get out of the reincarnation rat. We have to incarnate instead of reincarnate, because reincarnate is always creating and the same and the same and the same again. So now it's time to say we stop recreating. We are going to create something new. But that's all of humanity who has to do it. Not only one person. There is no government who will say, oh, from now on, we are going to do it differently. No, it's not possible.
No, we love to say in America, the true patriots of America is that we are the government. We, the people, people are our own, and we're meant to self-govern ourselves. But we've got so far away from that, of the opposites of that. And then now it's time to bring that back, right? So that exactly, instead of separating, like they're doing the vaccinated, unvaccinated beings, or they did with the Jewish and non-Jewish, is to rise above it now. And this is the gift, is that the diversity to include all, to honor all, to respect all, and of our free will choices of what we're choosing. And like people that chose to become Jewish, they became Jewish in that lifetime. They're just another being here, just like anyone else. And the more we can respect and honor and love, and they're all aspects of each other. We are all in the oneness energy of the law of one, is that we all are part of the one. And it's like, I see it as like a color of our palette, of our tapestry. So like you say, we are creating this world right now. We are. And the most important thing we can do is all of us here that have our awareness awakened to recognize of our own self-responsibility of our own creation that we have created here in this world. And including you and me, we are included in this too, because we're part of humanity. So we included we created some part of this nutty stuff going on. So
I'm still working every day on myself. I do every day. I transform things on myself, because it's a never-ending story. We are always growing and growing and growing on another level, a higher level, and a deeper level. It doesn't matter how you want to call it. We are here to learn.
Yeah, and we're here with ourselves. So we do it with ourselves, and exactly in ourselves. And that's actually the most beautiful thing you can say, right? So the gift will be is for each of us to go in ourselves, within ourselves, and then help ourselves ask some key questions. When we can start asking questions, we have the answers within ourselves. Our wisdom actually has the answers.
Yes.
The answers aren't outside of us. Yeah.
We have so much wisdom. Not only, even our human body is a consciousness on its own. He knows exactly what he needs. He knows exactly what or she needs to transform everything. Yeah, I don't. Yes. So, and everybody has access to it. But you need courage to dive in, because we have so much programs that says, no, don't go there because there's danger. Or no, don't go there because when you were a child and there was something threatening you, there is a system that says, don't go there because that's dangerous for you. But now the child is grow up, for me at least. So a part of another system in my system is saying, no, it's okay to go there because I'm older now and I know how to handle it. But my inner child is still saying, no, if I go there, it's too threatened for me, it's too big, it's too, so we always have this inner conflict.
And that's the war. That's the war.
That's the inner war that we are having. It's true. And we have the inner war between masculine and feminine, and between young and old, and whatever, everything. If you have a kind of guilt, you will never find the courage, or maybe you'll never be proud of yourself because you're living in guilt. So emotions and programs are, yeah, they can bring a lot of disbalance in your system. So it's good to have everything back in oneness. And then you have the free choice from how I want to react, how I live, how do I want to be.
Yeah, and this is the biggest gift that PSYCH-K offers. It offered me, it offered to you, and offered to each one that we offer it to. Yes. Is exactly that. It so is that it's at the biggest issue is the separation of our divinity. That's the biggest issue. And that's like Rob Williams is the originator of PSYCH-K. So, and he likes to say that the disorder of the IS disorder, right? The illusion of separation disorder. Yes. So it is an illusion, and yet it feels very real for us because we chose to be in our physical beings here, and we chose to have a way to create a way to be habitual beings here, because it's a lot easier if once you remember something, you can keep doing it, right? I don't want to have to keep remembering how to move my arm, right? Or how to remember how to talk, right? That's true. So we have an amazing part within us. Our subconscious mind records everything, and we'll let it keep replaying until you change it. It's time for us to change our programs. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. And I'm so grateful.
Out of the old. Yeah.
Yes. Let go of the old. Right. Birth yourself out of it and become and grow into and be your new. This is a birth. We're birthing. We're rebirthing and not reincarnating anymore. We're done with that. Release that. Disconnect from that. Begin to incarnate in your new way. Yes. Your new way. Yes.
And it's also something that humanity didn't experience for now yet, because we were always reincarnating, and now we are stepping out of it. So in our physical body, humanity didn't experience it yet. Wow. So this is also something that it's very new.
Mm-hmm. And new can be scary for some people. The unknown, because we've been programmed to know, don't go to the unknown. Don't go in that basement where it's all dark. Don't go, right? Yada. Play it safe. Do things that are safe. Do things that you think are secure, that you're familiar with, right? That was a survival mechanism that we did for, But no, it's actually, would you love to, what I have done is I reprogrammed my mind using PSYCH-K, that I welcome the unknown, and I am strong and safe in the unknown, and I welcome it in wonder and curiosity. So when I look at something that I'm unfamiliar with now, I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Yes. And my system, even at the cellular level, is able to be open to receive. And the gift is when you can receive, wow, and it can be at peace. This is an energy where your chemistry within you is now your parasympathetic nervous system of the openness and the peace, which allows you to raise your frequency, or your frequency to vibrate at a high frequency, opening up the channel of all knowingness of the mind of the God.
And instead of jumping into the deep, in the black hole, like they say, no, you can fly wherever you want to fly. So that's the switch that you can make also. Sometimes the unknown is, okay, I have to jump in something and I don't know, and it's dark and it's black and all these things. But you can also jump and say, no, I know I have my wings, and I have all support that I need. And I have all the qualities in me that I need for this lifetime. Because that's what we forget. Everything what we need for this lifetime, we have.
Yes.
So it's just on yourself to bring it up, to take off the layers of dust and say, okay, what do I need, or what can I explore in myself? So I have my own tools to do whatever I have to do. So if it's wings, then you will have wings,
Exactly. Well, we agree to forget that we're not multidimensional and that we're not divine. Like, those are the two big things that we agreed to forget. What?
Yes.
Because the gift is to when do we remember it? And then when do we actually step into it? When do we create it in this life? And this is what we're doing right now.
Yes. We have the opportunity to do it, and fast, because everything goes very fast.
Exactly.
For me, it goes very fast.
And it's beginning, everything's accelerating because we receive. And then it's important to have your mind believe that you receive everything that you need and that you have access to anything you ever need. I did not believe that. So then when you don't believe it, you're not going to have it. You're not going to live that in your life. And then you'll get mad, then you'll start blaming, and then you'll be like, well, heck no. The big question here is to ask yourself, oh, wow, are you willing to have the courage? It's the courage and the willingness. That's the gateway. But are you willing to have the courage to ask questions within yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that needs to happen. Because when you start asking questions, and you do have to open up a little bit of time for yourself. And that's what I had to do with my Be Still in Love year. I had to have a whole year of it.
That's true.
You didn't have to. Yours went really fast. Mine, I needed a whole year, and that's okay. For my time, it was a little bit slower, and it still worked perfectly for me.
Yes. Everybody has his own timing.
Yeah.
I also have participants who learn it with me, and then I don't hear them for a couple of years, and then suddenly they start again, and that's okay too. So everything on your own divine timing, and everything on their own tempo.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I need some extra information, because sometimes I listen to channeled messages, or I do a constellation to get more information because I'm not able to grab it anymore. And that's fine too.
Absolutely.
But every time I use my psyche to unlock everything in myself. So I have the extra information, and a lot is coming, and then I process everything and I unlock everything with psyche. Yeah. That's for me the fastest way to transform it.
Exactly. And then you insert your new apps, your new programs, your new upgrades, which is what psyche does. You imprint into your mind, your subconscious mind. I know. So I can run that. I know. Thank you. And I love the channeling too. The channeling has been so helpful for me. And now my system's channeling, which is really beautiful. So when it's called to do that, and now my system has opened so much that my multidimensional levels within me will begin to speak through me. And it has become my oneness, like my spirit name is Toralina. So I'm Mary Toralina now. So I've integrated my ego self as Mary, my human self here, into my spirit self, my Toralina energy. And then many other aspects, because I actually have openness to other aspects across the universe, which is really fun. And these are the things, we get to do so that, wow, we can become an observer of ourselves and of the world. Mm-hmm. And become curious, like childlike, like the children say, wow, that's really interesting. That's really interesting that's happening right now. Let's say like the lockdowns or the closing down again, especially like you're talking in Europe. And I'd love to offer that, because like in America, especially where I am in Michigan, it's definitely a lot more open, thank goodness. And that I joke around because I think a lot of Americans have a lot of guns, so they're not going to mess with us. Thank goodness. We don't have one yet, but I appreciate all the people I know. I know a lot of people that have a lot of guns. And if that helps them on a physical level that they can do is like super huge. Because there is a time to defend yourself, and there is a time to stand up for yourself. And until, thank goodness, these things will be going away. Which, thank goodness, where we won't need to have guns anymore. Thank goodness. No. Well, my gun is actually my voice now. So I see that as it's my oneness connection with my divinity and my sovereignty, because I know my belief that I have programmed in my subconscious mind is that my love is my most powerful bullets that I can shoot out is my love. And in my centeredness, just my calm. Because the fear energy that's rampant around this world right now doesn't know what to do. It's trying to get its little tangles into anything. It can only connect to other fear. So it's trying to connect to the fear within us. So the gateway is come learn psyche, come have a private session with psyche, whatever you're ready for. There's 2 routes here. And then transform that fear into peace and non-attachment. It's a high energy, so that your centeredness, those fears no longer come to you. And I love it now because I'll be like, look, or anger or all those other ones. You'll look in your strength and you'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And then I know I'm a free, divine, sovereign being here, and I'm walking freely and choosing my free will choices of things, to breathe freely, to have an innate immune system that my divine God source created for me. And I honor anybody else, whatever choices they make, because it's where they were with their belief systems at that point that they made those choices. And we are all part of each other, and it's all precious and it's all beautiful. That's how I see it now. Even when people are going to go through their suffering and go through hardships and sadness and losses, and it's part of our experience here.
It's part, and it's our learning process. So sometimes you'll need to go to the mud before you can transform it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So otherwise you don't know you have it.
Yeah. Right.
In you. I mean, you still have a program. So it will come, it will appear, and then you can choose whatever you want to do. You're going to step into it, or you're going to transform it.
Yeah.
And everything has a higher level, and everything you learn on one level gives you a lot of information, and it can transform into a gift when you upgrade into the next level. Like my high sensitivity, it was, how do you say, a burden?
Right. You thought it was a burden. I think it's a gift. I think it's a precious gift. Yes.
Yes, if you can transform it.
Right.
But when it's too much, it's a burden.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I was not able to get up because I was too overloaded. I was tired. I was, everything what high sensitive people can have. But when you transform it, and it can be a gift, and that's what I received this, or I chose to have this experience so I could learn from it. That's why I did it. Yes. I chose to be high sensitive, not somebody else. I chose it before I came into this earth or in this body. I said, okay, I want to have a body with high sensitivity and whatever qualities I still have that I did not. I forgot the words. I didn't have conscious knowledge of it yet. How do you say it?
Well, yeah, you said it right. Yeah, you weren't consciously aware of it. Yeah.
Well. So yeah, everything is here for a reason. Even if it's sad, or you have to lose people from young kids or whatever, everything has its purpose. Mm-hmm. And if you can transform it into your gift, then it will be more joyful. Absolutely. Your life will be more joyful.
Right. And believe me, whoever's listening to this now, each one is right exactly where they are. And there's a reason why you're listening to it. So it's huge. You actually had the willingness to listen, which I think is really, really big. I know for myself, because I was groomed to be such a fighter, born during the civil rights crisis of '68 in Washington, D.C., right, that I already felt like I had armor on, like the Marine armor, and my dad being a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps, and was just governed for that having that fighter spirit. When things happened, I felt like I was supposed to, it helped me. I chose to be in this way, to experience in this way, to be very alert. So I'm very alerted and guarded. I was guarded so that I felt like nothing, could hurt me, which was good. Although I did, obviously got hurt on things. And that's the parts that you get imprinted, because then you don't feel safe, right? Because you think, okay, I got all this armor on and I'm still getting hurt. What the heck, Yes. That can even get scarier than that. Well, then, so my reactive response for my subconscious will be that then I would blame others, or I would felt victimized. And so I didn't even realize how victimized I felt. The fascinating part is that I chose a profession to help others who felt like victims, right? Mm-hmm. So the single moms having babies in inner city, right? They were really in hardship, tough times, very surviving, very, very surviving, barely surviving times. And so I felt like I could be a voice for them, and I had the armor up to be their little protector, right?
Yes.
And I would give them a voice of them, kicking doctors out of the room and speaking up for them and making sure these doctors treated them like beautiful, divine human beings instead of just specimens or guinea pigs at these teaching hospitals and stuff. So it was purposeful, yet I did not give myself any time to begin working with myself. And that was where I missed a really important piece. So sometimes we can be out there helping humanity, helping, serving, going, doing, but are you helping yourself first? That's a super important question to do. I didn't even have permission within myself to do that. I was taught to be selfless with the way I was raised. And my mom modeled that very well with 12 kids, always serving and always giving. Although she would lie down once a day. So I did appreciate that. She did do a little bit, she said, no, you can't bother me for 20 minutes. I'm just resting. So I knew I needed to take good care of myself. I just didn't know how to. I had such a drive to go save the world, and go defend and be a voice for people that, the big turnaround for me was when my husband got sick and also wanted to help him, that I received by learning PSYCH-K is the gift for me, go within myself. And the answers are within me. Rest here. This is what Yeshua teaches, rest, all is well. And to find that within yourself again. And when we do, that's that center piece. That, wow, if you really can feel it in every cell of your body, because you've changed it in your subconscious mind, that all is well, even during these nutty times, and that you are well, that you are safe, that you are loved. This is the big one. I'm reading The Way of Mastery, a book right now. It's Yeshua's channeling. It's such a precious book. And a big one here came through for me. And I know I did check it within myself, which I'm glad that I did have it. But if you don't, this is where PSYCH-K can help to imprint this within you, is that I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable.
Oh, wow.
Forever. And then I am that I am. And for us to check in with ourselves, do you feel loved? Do you feel loving? Are you loving? Is that your energy? Are you loving? Are you lovable? Are you able to receive the love? Everything circles around love, because love is the only real thing that's really here. Yes. Everything else is a distortion.
That's true.
Wow. If you can believe that, because most people don't, they're still stuck in the matrix. So we're offering the red pill here instead of the blue pill, right? I should have had a red pill. Here we go. It's a red pen. There's a red pen and a blue pen. Do you offer the red pen or the blue pen? Would you like to take the red pill or the blue pill? This is literally, and I choose the red, which is interesting because red represents our root chakra. And the root chakra, I know for me, had a lot of fears there. I had a lot of bladder infections. I had a lot of, even the sexual traumas when I was younger, that it felt like a dangerous place. It was a very, it's that fearful, dark place, I guess you would call it, the root. And with PSYCH-K, I've been so grateful that I have transformed that into being an open and completely connected with Mother Earth. Mother Earth channels my root chakra now fully, which is really, I know, her crystalline, precious, I just feel her love, which I didn't have access. I was separate from her love. I was not even connected with her.
Me neither.
Yeah. So this, exactly. So how beautiful, right? That feeling that flow. And now it's my lovingness and play. And I actually reprogrammed my, my bladder, because it would act up, and especially people that have bladder issues, because it was trying to protect me. It was irritated and fighting because it was responding to the fears that I was having.
Yes.
Didn't even know it, with the irritation in my bladder of holding the bladder. Because when you're scared to death, what do? You pee your pants. Isn't that amazing? It actually opens up and releases, right?
Yes.
What? But yeah, it's nice for us to be able to have a bit of control to hold that sphincter, to hold it, and then choose when we want to empty our bladder, right? Or not out of fear, right? To then do it.
Yes.
So how beautiful when we can transform that. And I thank goodness did that. And it took a bit with the PSYCH-K, but it worked beautifully. To now, yes, to feel that flow of love, and to know it is safe, all is well, I am well. And that I know that I have access to all my knowingness and wisdom with divine light to help assist me if I am threatened or things are happening. I'll know what to do, you know.
Yes. And that's important because that's also giving you a security, a feeling of being safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then listening. So it's that in that pause and that quietness, as I'm learning to grow now, is just to be open in the silence and then to receive. Because it is more of a slower pace than what I'm used to. I'm a very fast paced person. So, and even multi-galactically very fast. I think it's my Pleiadian energy. My Pleiadian energy loves things really fast.
Yeah, I have it too.
Yeah.
I have also, because my sensors are so fine that I have a lot of, so it goes a lot of information. It's very fast, but sometimes it's so fast that I really have to sit and say, okay, what the hell is going on? And ask.
Yes.
Just to go into stillness and to find out, okay, what the hell? I just did this and I did this. What happened in the meantime? And what did I feel? So I had to reflect a whole time from, okay, what disturbing my whole system now? Or what am I, just to recalibrate myself. But it was all so fast. And before I handled and I did things to calm my system down. So a lot of sports, or I danced my whole youth. I was a dancer, just to release my physical body of all these energies. Yeah. So now it's really, okay, sit down, check whatever is going on without fears, because I was always in fear also. My root chakra was also blocked. I was always in fear, not able to come out of all these emotions.
Yeah.
So the moment I had my PSYCH-K, it was like, yes, I have a tool to come out of the emotions. That's why I went so fast.
Yes.
Because I wanted to transform everything that I felt. So it's the same story as you, but it's in a different context.
Yeah.
But actually it's for everybody the same story.
Right. Well, isn't that funny? We all have a similar themes, right? Yeah. I mean, there's usually some similar themes that many of us will have, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, and that's so, for me, that's so interesting to see how everybody is approaching his own way, how to come to his divinity again. It is so nice to see.
It is, isn't it? It so is. Yeah. And I was a runner, right? Because exactly. I used to joke that my dad, because he drank a lot, so that was, his way of coping after coming back from Vietnam. And he thought he was doing the best he could doing that. And I do believe that he's transitioned now, but I know he did. He really felt like he thought he was helping. Because he doesn't remember once he gets drunk, what the heck had happened there. Oh yeah, I got a little crazy. But I was fast, so he could never catch me. He'd get my brothers, and then they would get his demise. But learn to be fast. But you're right. Running does serve as a time to run, and I was really good at it. So I became a cross country runner, and then even ran a marathon. And you're right, and it helped release all that energy, right? To go. I used to say, why would people walk? Like I was in that mindset because I loved to run, and I knew it was like so purposeful. Like that's like so boring or so right now I walk and I love it. I don't even run anymore. That's really funny. Yes. You really can change when you're ready if you so choose. And then now I'm like, oh man, I gotta eat my words, for the stuff I said. But that's where the forgiveness comes in. Forgiveness is a huge gateway, and I have forgiven myself, and I continue whatever else comes up to forgive you that too. Oh yeah, I'll forgive myself on that one too. Oh heck yeah. Because now I'm enjoying nature. And I'm opening up all the sensory, like you say, you're so open to the sensory. I was also a very high sensory being, and I shut it down. It was too much for me. I said, oh, heck no, I am not going to live like this. It's just all gonna, and with PSYCH-K, it actually has opened up all of my sensories, which is amazing.
Yes.
Because when I'm walking or with nature, he can hear, and what I see and what I feel, feeling the wind. And
that is our nature.
Yes.
We are human beings, and human beings are feeling beings. Otherwise, we don't need a body.
Exactly. We're meant to feel. Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have to
Oh.
feel, to taste, to smell, to hear, all these things. That's just what a human body gives us.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I know. And how beautiful when we can bring it into a balance, right? Where you don't feel overstimulated with touch or with some people, even their senses, you know, it's too much, like too loud or too, you know, or people wearing glasses. I used to wear glasses, right? It was too much for what I was seeing. I didn't like what I was seeing. So I balanced things. So I don't wear glasses anymore. This is amazing, right? And I became deaf in my right ear when I was 26 because I was too much. I was hearing in that crazy inner city nuttiness of my workplace. And then that's even coming back. I mean, this is amazing. Our bodies, we can heal our own bodies. Heck yeah. And the fact that we were taught that we can't was a great way to help a whole bunch of industries make a ton of money. And I get that. That's was there in their minds, thought that's a great idea. But guess what? We can choose our own different ways now. So that's why I love the holistic approach. And then honor whatever's there if that's important for people to help. If like a compliment to things is beautiful. Yes. But just know I work with my mind doctor within me, my spirit divine doctor within me, my spirit divine nurse within me. I definitely nurse within myself. And
self-healing ability.
Exactly. And the answers are, but how important it's really great if you can start working with the subconscious programs that you have, because that's what our body runs from. So if you don't like something going on with your body, then this is the gift of being able to switch and shift into that. So, and we always are on the path. Like I get that we're meant to do things and I see it now as a delightful challenge. Like it's more of a, oh, okay, you're showing up again now. Right. So yeah, like I have right here. I mean, you might not even see it, but right here is like a little red thing, like right in the inner part of my eye. It's like, I don't know if you can see it, but yes, it's like a little blemish and and it happened in 2017, right when I became an instructor. It was right when my dad died. It was actually 2016 into 2017. It lasted for I think 6 months. A year, I don't know. It was like, and it was all both of my eyelids. Like, what the heck? Why would my eyelids be breaking out in red? That is really weird, right? Like our body does the strangest things. Yes. It actually does very purposeful things. There's a reason why it's doing it. Like, and how to get to the source. So I'm still working this within me. In fact, and then that's why I'm glad you and I work together, because even after this talk, I'm going to have you help me access my wisdom within me to get the answers for what's going on with my eyelid. Yes. Because I am doing it with myself. And that's the gift. When you go to PSYCH-K, you can learn how to use it with yourself. And then it's important to also work with others, because we get so far with our own, but when two or more together, it's at a oneness energy. And it's also, I will ask your questions, or you will ask me questions that I'm not able to think of that in that moment. So I will have access to the response or the answer for these questions. So it's when you're two, it's 1 and 1 is 2. It's always plus energy. So somebody is holding the space for yourself, for you, that you can transform everything. And it's so nice, because it's just that extra to help you to go some deeper just by asking the right questions, so you can find the answer in yourself. And that's something that's always better to do on two, than if you have to work on your own. Then that's how I see. I can work on my own and I can go to one level, but if I work with somebody else, they can bring me to a deeper level. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's so powerful of being together. Yeah. And that's the gift that we have each other, and that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to do things. And that's the gift of the feminine, is to do things together, right? And the masculine likes to do things on his own. That's the independent part of us. So we're meant to do both. And that's the gift, right? To have that. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Mm-hmm. So this is so funny that I typically will check with my time before we start stuff. I didn't this time. So I'm just going on, our spirits will let us know when we're done talking here today. But I am looking at the time here, which is good. I'm sure it'll be all divinely perfect, which is great. So so I'd love to circle back around again, if we can, when you had talked about, because I think it's super important. It hit something within me, and I would love to bring it to bring it up. So maybe it hit with other people that are hearing it too. When you talked about Europe, because with Europe, where all the wars were, like the biggest wars on this planet for these thousands of years that we've had here, in this civilization, that you guys are also getting the most restrictions, just about, I mean, I guess you can include Australia and Canada too, but we're doing pretty darn well, thank goodness. A lot of, they're attempting to do it, but it's not working because there's so many people rising up to say no. Yeah. We have the free, and I will have to say, because this energy in the North America, literally with Mother Earth and the time it's a free energy, as far as they left Europe to come here to be free. Yes. And then we had to do our own stuff because of what the pilgrims did to the indigenous people, because that was horrific, the forgiveness and that they should not have taken over their darn world. But so we definitely had our own within ourselves, that we have done with ourselves. So yeah, if you're okay, if we can spin that back around again, if you can share a little more of what's going on in Europe, because whoever's listening and talking, all of us are light and love beings. Even people that don't know PSYCH-K, other things, whatever your giftings you have, and whatever offerings and tools and supports you have, to send love for us to open our time up to literally love is the answer, and love is the way to ignite the strength within each one of you, the ones that are willing to stand up in your love, in your power, to say no, and to create the new free world. So would you like to have some insight with that?
Yeah, sure. That's how I see it. We also have a lot of people here in Europe who is waking up, absolutely. But there is I think the history where we are in, or what happened here in Europe, is more dense. It's quite dense. And that's what I feel. I resonate on it. So depends. I'm not always, when I choose to resonate on it, I go in there. So I can feel now when I hear the news, that it's like, okay, this is the Holocaust, or this is, maybe we can go out deeper when we have when we go to the Middle Age, the Black Ages, Middle Ages. Right,
Middle Ages, yeah, the Dark Ages, yeah.
So there you had the witches. Actually, they were natural people who are very connected with nature. And then you have like the Christianity and the church, let's say the church. So there was already also a kind of war, because, and that's also the same. I can see this repetition is coming back and back and back, always in another context. So now, before it was men against women, or a lot of women, because they were burned on how do you say, on stake? No,
on the stake, yeah, on the stake.
Yeah, or they were drowned, and they said, if you are drowned, you are not you're a human. You're just not a witch. Then you will be drowned, and when you come back alive, then you will be a witch, and then we will burn you anyhow. So there was no escape if you were caught.
Wow.
So, and I can see that was the female energy against the male energy. The church is male energy.
The masculine, yeah, the masculine.
Yes, and then working with nature was a female energy. So that's what started. So that was also what happened in ours, the war in us being our masculine and our feminine energy. That's the same. So now we have the wars, First World War, and then the Second World War comes very shortly, and it's always the same. Is more like power, and also restriction. No, yeah. To suppress people.
Oh, suppression. Yeah, suppression.
Suppression, yes. So that's what, and now it's again the same thing, only now it's not the Jewish people who will be suspicious or has to go in camps. No, it's the non-vaccinated. They are they become in a niche. So I don't know what it is for me. It's just everybody who is living here in Europe now has to transform all these old energies, because I'm born here for that reason. I had a lot of past lives. I dreamt that I was I was shooting people in the war. I know that I was in a concentration camp too.
Me too.
Yeah, I could feel it because it's resonating on me. Every time when I hear something on the news, it's like, oh my God, no, I can feel the shifting, the fear in my body. So I said, okay, there's still something left. I need to transform it. And yes, that's something everybody has to do it for their own. So everybody who is living in Europe has these energies in themselves, because all Europe has all these histories.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And then also just because it's there, that it ripples effects through to all of us too, right? So,
yeah.
and that's it. And so each of us have within ourselves an aspect of that too, because it's still part of the humanity and still part of, yeah, absolutely. And that's the gift, is when we can, instead of like ignoring it and just living in our own little way and acting like none of this is happening. You know, I think that one of the biggest gifts this brought these last 2 years is that we all affect each other. We all matter. You know, that everything, ripples into everything else. And so the gift is that the biggest question to ask is, how do you want to be? Step into being the creator of your world, of what you do, and who are you? Asking those questions, say, who am I? Who am I here? And if you have come up here, oh, who am I? I'm nothing. I don't matter. I whatever I do doesn't, really make a big difference. Or because I was a perfectionist. So I had a lot of that, where it was this, overachieving and could never reach it. But that was just programs. Those were conditioned programs of being worthless, of being not good enough,
Yes.
And so what a beautiful change. You say, I am good enough. And I know I am now, because I know I'm a portal. I'm a vessel for the divine light, love to come and assist during this time. And then when you can wake up to recognize that, and I know I've done goofy things and horrible things, and many lifetimes of, right, we've all done whatever, and all of us just do what we have to do at each moment for the best decision we can make at that moment, from whatever decision we made for the free will choice. So when we can get a huge gift with PSYCH-K is to lift out of the judgment. And that's because the judgment is what puts you in a box or puts you in a pit, and it separates you. Because if you judge yourself or you judge someone else, it's a separation. And so, and we were taught in religion that God judges, but God, he, she, it, the consciousness, there's no judgment. That's all made up. I'm sorry. I just let people know that. Oh, heck yeah.
That's true.
Because then they'll get into, but read the Old Testament or read this and that. I get that. And there's a whole nother story about that too. So it's important to listen to your own internal compass and your own internal truth. We have our own internal truth.
Yes.
And is it resonating from love, from openness, from trust, from wellness, from goodness? We are innately good, but we were not taught that. We were taught we were sinners. We were taught we're bad.
Oh, yeah.
I was raised with a lot of guilt and shame, and the guilt and fear, more guilt and fear. But
Guilt.
And it guilt. Yeah, because that was the way that they corralled the kids to do what the parents needed them to do. And that was the best our parents could do. I had wonderful parents. They did the best they could. Absolutely. And I'm grateful that I chose my parents. I did. I know I chose my parents. Heck yeah.
Yes.
And they helped me, right, to cultivate to who I am. And then I've had the forgiveness for myself, the forgiveness for them, because we expect our parents to be perfect. No one is perfect of the mind idea that we have. And yet we are perfect in a way that's we are as we are, when you can accept this is just how I am. And and then begin moving forward to create how we would love to have it be. So
it is very important to, that's what I say every time when I teach a workshop. It's very important that you don't judge.
Right. Or catch yourself if you do, because people do, we do. It's in us to judge. But catch it.
Yes.
And then change it.
And change it, because everything happens for a reason. Yes. And if you can come out of the judgment, you can see the lesson instead of the result of it. because always, even if it's something bad or negative, there's always a higher good in it. So if you stop judging or come out of duality, it's actually the same. The duality in us is also bringing a kind of war. But if you stop judging, then you can see, oh yes, it happened for this, that was for me, that was for the other person or for the other situation. So everybody has his or her higher goal in it. If you go into the blame and suffering and all these things, you get stuck.
Exactly.
That's energy.
Yeah, when you release the judgment and transform it, you transform it into unconditional love. It's unconditional love and acceptance. That's the opposite. So you want judgment down here, or do you want unconditional love and acceptance here?
Yeah,
For yourself.
and otherwise you will recreate it to come out of it. And as long as you don't transform it, you will recreate it all the time.
Yeah, it'll just come and show up in different faces or different ways. Yeah, until you're ready to, when it really smacks you up to say enough. And so this is where the restrictions or where a government's telling people what they have to do. So the antidote is to love yourself, transform, know you're free, and begin and have a right to say no. Saying no is you're standing, you're saying, no, I don't choose that. I choose this. And you know, thank you. I send my love, and this is how I'm moving. And guess what? Their little control things fall apart because they can't control people that are in full love.
That's true. And
they only control the fearful ones.
Yes. And the more people who say no, the stronger it will come. And then they lose their power. So it's really, it's not one person that can say, and now we're going to change the whole world. No, because that person will disappear. So we need to enforce the unity in humanity again and put this energy out.
As a toddler, the best thing we did is say no. I loved it as a toddler. No, I'm not doing that. No.
I had to do a lot of balances to say no, to dare to say, no, I will not do it without any guilt or without any shame.
Exactly.
Or without any from, oh my God, now I hurt that person because I said, no, I'm not helping them. So, oh, I'm a bad man or a bad girl, you know, because I'm not helping them by saying no. And it's like, no, I have the right to say no, you know.
Exactly. And then they have their right to do whatever they need to do for them. Everyone has, I'm only responsible for me. That's a huge one I did for myself. And I even said, I give myself to be selfish. I give myself permission to be selfish. It's a divine selfishness, which means I have access to all my love fully, and I get to have it. Yes. Heck. And I can overfill it. Absolutely. And everyone else can have all my overfill, but it has to stay full. Mine is staying full now. Yes.
It has to stay full. Absolutely.
Oh, so I think we're going to need to end soon. This is what my spirit's saying, right? This is good. Yeah. So let's bring in back that you and I love it. You and I were attempting, no try, only do is what I hear Yoda, my friend Myra saying to me, is that we were offering an in-person workshop in Israel, but we are not able to go there, which I get. So we shifted it to an online workshop, right?
Yes.
Yay, January 28th, 29th, and 30th, right? And the gift is we did a creative time. So it'll be 7 a.m. Eastern time to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So early risers, and I'm not an early riser, but I will become one for this one. So anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. We're just going to get up. We can stay in our pajamas if you want. Turn on your computer, have your coffee or tea and water.
And
get roll. Right. And then what time for you?
It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Perfect. Till 8 p.m. right?
Till till 8 in the evening. Yes.
And then for Israel people, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's a very flexible time. So yes. And then right with that. So then you will learn one balance change process with PSYCH-K. So you will learn one tool, a very powerful tool, the tool to help us shift and reprogram your mind, and you work with yourself. And then you'll also be working in one-on-one with other ones that have learned PSYCH-K too, so that you can help ask those key questions for somebody, which is a beautiful gateway for them to help others. And then you get to transform. So if you're ready for the transformation, ready to say yes to yourself, this is the time to say yes to yourself. Say no to the old way of, the nutty, crazy, fearful world, and say yes to love and yes to you. then, right, we recommend going to our website. So I'll say my website, you'll say your website, and then we'll say the PSYCH-K website. Sound good?
Yes.
So my website is ignite and heal your life, life.com. So ignite, IGNITE and AND, heal, HEAL, your, YOUR, life, LIFE.com, because you are igniting the divinity within you that helps you heal and transform your life. And then Sabine's website.
Oh, it's just my name. It's Sabine Ravenschot. It's RAVESCHOT .be or .com.
Oh,
So
you can do .be or .com. Okay, both.
Yes,
Oh, that's
I have
nice. And
both.
Sabine.
Yes. and
Sabine,
Sabine,
SABINE. Yeah.
yes.
And it's just all the way through. There's no period in
Oh,
between
no.
it. It's just your first and
Yes.
last name. Oh, that's so
Yes.
easy. Yeah. Very
Yes.
nice. Love it. And then you can also go to the PSYCH-K.com website. So PSYCH-K.com, and that has website. So that way, if that time doesn't work for you, or you want to go to the in-person one, step on there, and you can go whatever country you're in. It's all over. We are all over. There's 30 of us across the world teaching this, and we want you to go to the right one. So that's, we definitely honor that. And then I will be teaching some in person. You will be too. So you can look on our personal websites for those. But this is a big call out. We're entering into a new year. This is a powerful year, 2022 and 2023. This is the cleaning out year, where all the old's falling and all the new's growing. So if you want to be a part of the ones like us that are growing the new, beautiful, divine heaven on earth here, PSYCH-K is one of the most precious gifts you can give yourself. And then help humanity. When you help yourself, you do help the world. And that's where we need to begin. So good. Oh, thank you, Sabine. I love you so much. I wish I could fly to you. I'll get my dragon energy coming in and then fly over to you. Or my angel energy. Either one. They both are the same to me.
Yes, that's what the same.
We love you. Love you. Happy. So Merry Christmas. I do say Merry Christmas for those that celebrate the Christmas, the Christ, because we all have the Christness energy within us. It's beyond religion. That's for sure. And have it be a very happy Christ consciousness awakening birth for you. That's how I mean by the Christmas. It's your birth of your Christ consciousness within you for now in the new year, and your beautiful family and everyone that's listening here. And the new year, happy new year for all those, since they'll be hearing this going into the new year, right? Good.
That's true.
And anything you want to say before we go?
I loved talking with you. It was nice. And I hope everybody have I was able to pick up things that she or he can work with or need to maybe make the steps, or to dive into his own personal growth. I really welcome everybody who wants to do it, because it can be challenging in these times.
There is an answer, and there is an answer.
There is an answer, and there are, how do you say, something to grab, to hold on to. There are tools, and PSYCH-K is one of them, so if you resonate on it, I welcome everybody.
Absolutely, we welcome you. Our spiritual family is reuniting, which is so beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And I wish also everybody very nice Christmas and a happy New Year.
Yay, beautiful.